In this video, we are going to look into the poem The Last of the Princess written by A.K Ramanujan. He was an Indian writer and he was born on 16th March 1929 and passed away on 13th July 1993. He wrote both in English and Kannada. He was a poet, scholar, professor, philologist, folklorist, translator, and also a playwright. His academic research ranged across five languages. Those were English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and Sanskrit. Ramanujan's poetry reflects the traditional Hindu upbringing that he had and the experiences that he encountered in a Western culture. Because he was a poet originally of Mysore, but he taught in University of Chicago from 1962 onwards. Now let's get into this poem. It's a simple poem and it consists of around 28 lines. So I have divided this poem into two parts for the ease of explanation. So first let's get into the first part of the poem. It goes like this. They took their time to die. This dynasty falling in slow motion from Aurangzeb's time, some of born TB, others of a London fog that went to their heads, some of current trends, imported wine and women, one or two heroic in war or poverty, with ballads to their name. Father, uncles, seven folklore brothers, sister so young, so lovely, the snakes loved her and hung dead. Ancestral lovers from her ceiling. Brothers, many wives, their unborn, stillborn babies, numberless cousins, royal minas, and parrots in the harem, everyone died. To pass into his slow conversation. Before getting into the explanation of this poem, you have to know that this poem is a tragic commentary on the pathetic condition of present plight of once powerful princess. Many of the princes have passed away, but few princes belonging to the royal dynasty still survive. But they are in poverty or in critical conditions. The poet takes the most powerful emperor, the Mughal dynasty, to exhibit the pathos. So, in these lines, the poet says that they took their time to die, means there was a slow death for the dynasty. They were gradually coming down. They were falling in slow motion from Aurangzeb's time. Aurangzeb is the last princess of the Mughal dynasty, and from his time, after Aurangzeb's time, this dynasty was falling down. Many of them had diseases, like some had bone TB. Bone TB means bone tuberculosis, it is a disease, and others because of London fog. London fog is the cold climate that was a problem for some of them, and some died due to that. And some of the current trends, like imported wine and women, some were addicted to the imported wine and women, and they considered as a standard to marry a foreign woman, and those things destroyed them. Then the poet says that one or two heroic in war or poverty. That means that only a few people have died heroically, fighting against the British or due to poverty, and there are ballads written in their name. And in next lines, the poet is mentioning all those who have died. Father, uncle, seven folklore brothers, sisters so young, so lovely. And he says that everyone have died, and some sisters suicided due to the problems they had. And brothers also died, their wives and their unborn, stillborn babies. Babies are dying before their birth itself. Then many of the cousins, and then royal minas and parrots in the harem, means that royal minas and parrots were the pets of women. Harem is a place where royal women uh, spend their time. So there were royal minas and parrots, which were their time pass. All those, even those creatures have died. Everyone died to pass into his slow conversation. So everyone died in that slow death process. Now let's look in the rest of the poem. He lives on, hired to long fingers, faces in paintings, and a belief in auspicious snakes in the skylight. He lives on to cough, remember and sneeze, a balance of phlegm and bile, alternating loose bowels and hard sheep's pellets. Two girls, Honey and Bunny, go to school on half fees. Wife heirloom pearl in her nose ring, pregnant again. His first son, trainee in telegraphy, has telegraphed thrice already for money. Then he says that he lives on, only the last prince lives on. And how? And the poet is painting the looks of this prince. He says it has long fingers and he has a blind belief on snakes. And he lives on. How? To cough, remember, and sneeze, a balance of phlegm and bile. And then the poet starts to say about the pathetic physical condition of the last prince or Aurangzeb. And he's coughing, he's sneezing, he's not well, and a balance of phlegm and bile. Phlegm is coming out from his mouth. Phlegm means it's a type of mucus. And his liver is not well. Sometimes he has constipation, sometimes he has loose motion, and he's totally unwell. And his two daughters, Honey and Bunny, go to school on half fees. He don't have the money even to pay for the fees of his daughters. And his wife has a nose ring on her nose, only that is left with them. All others are sold out to meet their daily needs. Heirloom means all other ancestral ornaments are all valuable things. And his first son, his eldest son, is working as a trainee in a telegraph office for a low wage. And his son has already telegraphed him and asked him for money around 3 times. So that's all about the meaning of this poem. So this poem shows about the tragic situation of this Mughal dynasty or those the people who were royal those times and now they are suffering a lot. All their glory have been gone. In a sense, the poet Ramanujan has ironically attacked the snobbish mentality of the last princes. They had bad habits, and their intoxication to imported wine and wife, and their unpatriotic fervor pulled them to the present situation they are. So that's all about this poem. If you find this video useful, please share it with your friends too. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all. Thank you for watching.